All right, I want to show you guys how to do some moving on different parts of a project. So this project here we have drawn, we have some things dimensioned out for you to see the different sizes that we have already, and just to give you some things for you to see on maybe you needed to move or adjust. So a couple things, maybe like my example set of plans, maybe we drew this thing 20 inches wide, but maybe we really only need it 12 inches wide. So one thing we could do is we could take the arrow tool and we could select multiple lines and hold shift and select all of those different lines, which can be kind of tedious. Or we could take the arrow tool and simply create a selection box around what we want to move. So I did that, and you can see this whole part here is selected. Now, if you take your selection tool and only draw it around part of that, it's not going to get the whole line. In order for it to be selected the whole thing, you have to draw a box around the entire part that you want. Now we need to move it. So if we want to get down to 12 inches and we're at 18, that's a difference of 8 inches. So I'm going to take my move tool. I've got it selected. My move tool is right up here. It is the 4 arrows with the kind of plus looking sign. Over on the large tool set, you'll see it. Mine's right here. 4 arrows. And I'm going to grab that and I'm going to click a corner. It doesn't matter which corner. I like to grab something that's right in line with something else. That way I can keep it nice and straight. You can see if I don't keep it straight, it gets all deformed, which we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure it stays nice and straight. So make sure you move it in and just pull it the direction you want to go. Right now, it doesn't matter how far you move it. But just like when we are drawing, down here in the corner on this distance, mine says distance, yours might say length, but we're going to pull it over straight and you'll see how far we've moved it so far. So I'm going to tell it how far to move, just like when drawing a line. I'm going to type 8. It's going to know that I'm talking about inches based on the template I have, and I'm going to hit enter. So it has moved 8 inches, okay? Now that we've got it to the 12-inch size that we would like. Couple other things that need to be changed. You can see one of my styles is at 2 inches, the other is at 1.5 inches. So I can go through and select each line and hold shift until I get that whole line selected. And then you can let go of shift. And now I need to move this. I know I'm a 1/2 inch difference. So I'm going to grab the move tool. I'm going to click somewhere that I can keep it straight. I'm going to pull it the direction I want to go. Remember, it doesn't matter how far. You can pull it past there. It doesn't matter. And now I'm going to type 0.5 to move it a 1/2 inch. And it snaps in. It snaps in the distance I told it to move. All right. Another thing, I want this top drawer opening to be 6 inches. 6 inches is the standard opening. When I drew it, maybe I drew 6 inches from the top instead of the opening here. So if I want to be 6 inches when I'm done, that's a difference of 2.5 inches. So I can click one line, make it blue, and hold shift. Whoops, I'm in the move tool. I need to be in the selection tool. And hold one line, hold shift, and grab the other line, and get the move tool and select the corner. And I'm going to pull it down. Doesn't matter how far. And I'm going to tell it how far now, 2.5, and that will give us the 6-inch opening. All right. Now, if we have this selected, or we have this all set up, but we look, oh, maybe we need this 28 inches instead of 30. So when we move this, we don't want to just move the top part, because then it's going to move the size of our drawer. So with that selection tool again, if you select both rails when you draw or when you grab this, you can see they both have moved along with the top line or have been selected. And now we can grab the move tool and grab a corner. I'm going to pull it the direction I want to go. Remember to keep it nice and straight. And I know I was 30. I want to be 28 now. That's 2 inches. I'm going to type 2, enter, and it's going to snap in to 28 inches now because I told it to move down 2 inches. All right, I think that should answer most of your questions on moving things. moving single lines, moving multiple lines, and multiple objects at once. Hopefully this helps. Happy drawing.